pahi nityam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. O Lord, light us through and through, and ever protect us with thy loving presence. Om, peace, peace, peace to all beings everywhere. Thank you everyone for coming to this morning. Today we have Revered Swami Sarvadevananda Maharaj. He's just coming from a trip to Germany. So he just came back this week, and he'll be speaking today about the Forest of Samsara. The Forest of Samsara, which I may speculate is maybe the forest of all the problems we find ourselves in, and we get lost in them. Swami Sarvadevananda.
So today our subject is the Forest of Samsara. This is a very unusual topic, that's why people don't come for this. Most of us feel that we are in a very safe place, very joyous place, merry-making place, wonderful world. But to a spiritual seeker, it has a different connotation. We live in a forest, in a world, not illumined persons, that we see God everywhere. But we live in this world with fear, anxieties, worries, death, suffering, and all these negativities. Of course, when one is very youthful, the world is okay. I will change the world, I will do this, and I will convert it, and this and that. But when you mature, you all know that how the world is going on in its own way, and we get battered by the world. We try to batter the world and then push it out, but we are being victim of this. So, first of all, this topic is very important to analyze the way we live in life and where we are and what is our position and what is our potentiality. So these are the two things to understand. One, where we are, how we are, and how safe and protected we are, how happy and peaceful we are, and how under the circumstances we are lost into the life's journey. It takes time to understand that, but everyone feels this at certain point or the other time. It will happen. So this is the situation to understand the situation in which we are now. And then if we know that is not favorable, then we need to find some means to get out of this fire. So this topic is Forest of Samsara. As a person enters into the forest, what happens? Dense, deep, dense forest. If you have any experience, then you will understand how painful and difficult is that. That if you go to a dense forest, in Mayavati one time it happened, I had been there just a day or two, and then some people came from Calcutta and I become their guide, self-appointed guide. And then blind, going to guide the blind as it happens. So we went with all courage and strength and wanted to show them where is this Savior's place. Savior's body is cremated there and this and that. And the Mayabhuti, by that time we didn't understand this. The darkness comes so quickly. And as we are going, and I was courageous to move, saw some trail, and I was taking them to some other experience. As we are moving, and then we entered into a deep place, Every path seems to some path in between the trees, as if you can walk through this, you can walk where to go. And then is deep silence. Then some birds are spreading their wings and making some noise, and we all got scared and see the deep silence around, and fear, 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 fear. And how to come out of that? It was a big struggle. And tigers are very much roaming place. We saw in one place the human bones. And in the gorge, we saw that is a good place for the tigers to had some place to eat. And then, where we are going, we do not know anywhere. And some old people and young people, by God's grace, ultimately, we saw some light and we came back. This is called the forest. And the forest, when you get lost, it is dangerous. And what lives in the forest? The animals, who kills you, who destroy you, and takes away your all spiritual potentiality. Sri Ramakrishna gave the example. There a man was going and lost into the forest of Samsara, forest. And in that forest, he being lost, the 3 thieves or burglars jumped upon him. Free soul, free from all entanglements, birthless, deathless, limitless, infinite reality, as we are, I am that, enters into the forest of samsara. And as soon as you enter the zone, you are entering into the zone of 3 gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. And 3, there roams out, whose is the jurisdiction? 3 dacoits, 3 burglars, powerful burglars, that is, they rule that continent of forest. All of us, whoever entered into, even Avatara comes into the Maya, though they have controlled by their own power, they come over here. But they enter into the 3 plane of these 3 gunas and dominating force. What does do? Ramakrishna's unique story we all know. As you enter, there is a tamas burglar. He immediately jumps upon you and with a sword in hand just to cut and take away your whole. That means take away all our spiritual freedom, take out all our glories of the Atman. A split second it's forgotten. And just cut that identity that you are divine. And then take away all your positions. What are the positions? Goodness, holiness, purity, love, joy, blessings, all the qualities in person, all gone. And just to kill it. That's the function of the tamas. And stealing away, then chopping the head. And then there comes a compassionate among the dacoits, 3 dacoits. They have their friendship also. Hey brother, why to kill this guy? We have taken away all his positions, all his unique characteristics of divine qualities. We have stolen that. All the money, asset, gold, jewel, we have taken away. Those are the glorious things of human personality, that we are divine by our nature. We are compassionate by our nature. We are peaceful people by our own nature. Steal everything with a deep tamas. And then he comes, little compassionate. He says, why to kill him? Let us tie him with a tree, and he will be here. So no one will know that he will die here slowly, slow poisoning. There's a quick death, it's a slower death. And they first took away all the assets, and then they started going away. Sattika was also there, another dacoit. He suddenly felt that, oh, compassion. That why this guy, what will happen? He has been tied with the tree and will not be able to move anywhere. Then why? You will die. You will be feeling for food, for drinking water, but he will not have any possibility of having anything in this condition. So let me go. So he came, compassion, and he came, and then what he did? He untied the soul. And he was much compassionate. He said, okay, you are troubled, let me take you. And then he took that guy and then went on in the forest of the how to come out of the path of this forestry. He just came out and then showed that yes, this is the forest zone. That is your house. Go. Sattika quality, though it is a dacoit, avidyamaya, vidyamaya. So that is the vidya leading towards the wisdom. And Ramakrishna said that this dacoit shows that go now, that is your home. Sattva, Soras, what is our eternal home. And then the poor guy was totally being lost. He was so thankful and said, oh, you have saved my life. Why not Sattika quality? Good. Come with me and come to my home, eternal home, the country of freedom, the country of eternal blissfulness. No burglar there. No one can enter there. Beyond the three gunas, that state. Nishtrayigunne puti bicharatang ko vidhi ko nishedha. What will be the restrictions for anyone who is beyond the three gunas? So that is your home, go there. And then he said, the dacoit says, no sir, I cannot go. Thank you for your invitation, but I cannot enter there. If I go, police will catch me. So Sattika quality remained in the forest. Though Sattika quality, but that still remained within the forest, and the released soul enter into the freedom. So very significant story. The samsara is like that. We are entangled by the three gunas constantly. Either tamas quality, rajas quality, or sattika quality. But tamas and rajas takes us to the avidya, ignorance, and fear and anxiety, life stressful, strain. How to survive? There's no way out. Crying and lamenting, finding some resource to come out of that position and asking, oh Lord, who is there? Please help me, this, that. No. That is the Sattika quality. Then God comes to rescue the soul. And that's why journey for spirituality starts. That's why it is said that Shreya and prayer, the two things appear before everyone's life in the forest of Samsara. One is the path, which is immediate subject of gratification, the objective world, the sensate experiences, immediate touch of the object and the senses, and the sense objects connecting together find immediate joy. Eating to the tongue, seeing something beautiful with the eyes, hearing something in the ears, no? And we get entangled into it. Infatuation comes, attachment comes, and we are happy. But don't know your spirituality is being killed. There is no awakening of inner spirit. We lose ourselves, our days go away. When we are born and we go, one day we find that we have become 80s, 70s. What did I do 70 years, 80 years? That's why there is a beautiful statement, there is a beautiful poem Shankaracharya composed. He says, Ashare, Sangsare, Nija Bhajana Dure, Jaradhiya, Brahmantang Mamandhang. So I am andha, I am blindfolded, and Brahmantam, I am roaming around in this unsubstantial Asare Sangsare, in this unsubstantial world of temporary existence. And I forget my Nijo Bhajana Dure, which is away from my own spiritual practice. And Jaradhiya, my buddhi, has become Jada, worldly, matter. It does not think anything but matter. This world which is made of material substance, Panchabhutas, my mind gets entangled into that and forgot Nijo Bhajana Dure. It is away from Nijo Bhajana, my own spiritual practices, or to go back to home. That call I forgot. Therefore, Brahmantam, and I have, Mam, Annam, I have become blinded. I don't see any light in my life. And Parama Kripaya, O Lord, who is ever there, listen to my prayer. He is talking to Shankaracharya, speaking to Lord Shiva. Anything. It may be Shiva, it may be Kali, it may be whatever. But he's asking, O divine entity, please, by your infinite grace, Parama Kripaya, by your infinite compassion and grace, I am wandering around in this unsubstantial world of reality, this apparent world, and my buddhi is dull, tamasa. Tamasa dacoit has taken possession of my buddhi, or rajasa. How much I know, this, know, this. See all the war, fight going on. What? I. At the cost of all peace and or joy of the human society. So individual life is also same. So I am in this context, oh, Shankara is saying. It's not you and me saying. It's Shankara, he himself being compassionate to see our conditions in which we live, is guiding us to say, yes, to understand that we are in difficulty. Spiritual life does not start unless we understand we are in bondage. Where will be the desire to be effort for freedom unless I know I am in bondage? If I think that is perfectly okay, I am happy. Yes, happy, you are happy, then what is the need of asking for anything beyond? So this is our fundamental question. Are you happy here? If you are happy, stay on. Not this talk, not this discussion, not this chanting for you, because you are already happy. I used to give a Gita class in some place, and so every time when what Vedanta will teach you, no? Always talk about this unsubstantial world, it's the changing world, nothing this and this sensate experience is momentary, you should not be satisfied with that, you are eternal. But that guy was tired with my classes, maybe a few classes. Then he said, Swami, why are you talking about all this life, all negative, negative, negative? Oh, I said that you don't feel any suffering in life. Don't you see any potential pain, agonies, bereavement, death, this? No, I'm happy. Then I said, yes, then really this class is not meant for you because you're already happy. We want to be happy. And happy, not ordinary happiness. Ordinary happiness gives momentary joy. That we know. A good food, good ice cream, wonderful. A good view. So you are traveling someplace and have a nice view. Good, what a view, no? It's momentary. But then it does not stay with us and does not give us endless joy. So we want that joy, that type of joy, you cannot get it here. So you have to understand that who is fitted for Vedanta, that's called Adhikari. Adhikari too, who is a competent student for spiritual life. So they will have to understand first, I am in bondage. And then he will think, I need to get out of it. I am in a jail. How I want to get out of this jail? If that question does not come, then this topic, Swami Vivekananda said, I cleared the hall. In his lecture time, he was talking too much of this unsubstantial nature of the world. And naturally, one by one, the audience left and left and left. He said, cleared. No one to hear about this. So this is the fact. We don't want to hear we want to always put a beautiful flower over the wound to cover it with a nice fragrant flower, no? So no, not, but to dissect the objective world and to understand that unsubstantial nature, that Shankara did it. He's saying, no, don't commit suicide. It's not the point. But we have to understand and find a way out. We have to take help of tamas, dacoit or Rajas dacoit, or you want to take refuge in Sattvika dacoit. And then Sattvika, he is a dacoit also. But we have to Vidyamaya or Avidyamaya, which direction we should have to go. So that is the point. Avidya is ignorance. We can take that course and we know what is the consequence of that in our day-to-day life. It with maturity of all these experiences we know more. So the point comes, the how to get out of it. Therefore, here Shankara is saying that I am blinded and I am roaming in this world of unsubstantial, world of temporary existence. And my buddhi is also dull and such a dull mind that it does not think anything beyond that. I am happy with it. It has become like a jada, like a matter. Therefore, please see my condition. I am helpless. Therefore, Madanna Kodino, who will find such a good candidate to shower your blessings? I am a good candidate because I understand this unsubstantial. I am blinded, my buddhi does not allow me to go, like a seeker of truth. Seeker of truth is asking, oh Lord, please help me, help me. I am trying. Here comes the devotion. Shankara says, Advaita Vedanta, not this, not this, not this. But see, Shankara teaches us how to have genuine devotion for God. Our devotion is not genuine because we don't know this problem. Then the question to come out of the problem is not sincere. Ramakrishna knew that Ramakrishna lived a life totally lost into that renunciation mood. And what he did, everything becomes secondary. Only to realize the divine and to feel that consciousness. That's why he called Ma. He used to call it Ma. That's a one word. But to get out of that. And nothing become important in the life. That's an extreme state. Ramakrishna's life is our example. And Ramakrishna said, don't expect that you or me will be having any bit of that. It is Sri Ramakrishna, I have done so much. They only do this much. With our capacity, we have to feel this two important point that we are in bondage, we are in difficulties, and we need to get out of it. Therefore, oh Lord, where will you find a good candidate like me? I understand this, I want to come out, but my buddhi does not allow me. I am wandering in this unsubstantial world. So please help this child of yours. And I am the sincere. And you are, people talk about God. No? What is the glory of God? It is expert. Kripana Raksha Utinipuna is verily extremely expert in helping the person who is drowned in ignorance. If you so, I am a good candidate to receive your grace, and you are a great person to bestow that blessings. So where will you find such a match? Good Guru, good Sishya. Ramakrishna is ready to give the spiritual knowledge. Vivekananda went, have you seen God? This, that challenge? Yes. Perfect match. So one touch, boom. Knowledge came. Forest of Samsara vanished. The whole world is vanishing into the wideness. And he experienced a state of ecstatic joy. No? So this, where will you find in these three worlds such a good candidate like me to bestow your blessings and grace and redeem me from my bondage of this world? So that is the Shankara is teaching us, that this world is full of this ignorance, and ignorant mind is always giving us a wrong information, and our goal is being forgotten, and we are worm-wielding around this world. That's why when Swami Vivekananda came to Ramakrishna, and what is the song? The very first song. Mana chalo nijo niketane সংসার বিদেশে বিদেশিরও বেশে ভ্রম কেন অকারণে মন চলো নিজ নিকেতনে। Very first call, oh my mind, let us go back to my own abode. This is foreign land. Really, we don't belong here. We have entered here. As you go to visit any country, you are a visitor with a passport. You go, and that passport has a limitation. 5 days, 10 days, 1 month, whatever you get, a stamp. And this year, but when the date will be over, either you go or you will be driven away. So this world is like that. It is happening in our life. We have entered into this foreign land, forgot. But everyone come with a what you call the expiry date. Expiry date, someone is 10 years, someone is 20 years. A baby child is dying at 10 years, no? Someone is dying 20 years, someone is in 5 days, someone maybe 1 year, someone maybe 99 years, someone only 100 years. But there is a limitation, even 120 years. Who is the oldest lady now, or woman, or man? The oldest in the world, 150 years or something, no? Have you heard that?
115 or 150?
150.
Really?
Yeah, I read somewhere, one lady, and anyhow, so, but 150, even then, that's the limitation end. Then what? So this is the point, that there is a limit. This is the foreign land we are walking, and our eternal home. Oh my mind, go back to your eternal home. Mano, oh my mind, chalo, go. Nijo Niketan, your own abode, your own home. Sansar, Videshe, this foreign land of this world. Brahmo Kano, why are you wandering around? Brahmo Kano, Akarone, meaninglessly. You are trying to think that you will get joy here. And you have your infinite joy in your home. And you are wandering in this world to get this joy here. So it is meaningless effort. So, oh my mind, go back home, go back home, go back home. No? And that was the song Swamiji sang. Very beautiful songs are there. So I thought that we can read those songs also very much. You know, there is another song sung for Holy Mother, or the Divine Mother. That, oh my mother, my boat of life is sinking in this world of ocean of birth and death. And in this, there is a storm, big storm, violent storm of Maya and of infatuation, etc., is increasing every day. My love for this world, my attachment to the world is growing more and more and more. So, and in one side, my mind is really not, is a senseless. Mind cannot analyze what is should be good. So my mind is senseless, and my 6 helmsman, what you call the oarsman is senseless, and helmsman, they are irregularly pulling in all directions. So the boat is now in turmoil, no? So this is my condition. So my devotion is broken, my understanding is lost, and my all faith and shraddha is torn like a sail boat with the sail being torn. So this is my condition. Oh Mother, I don't find any other way. Please help me to direct me and take care of my boat of life. So this is a very sincere prayer to come out, understanding the nature of our life here, and to come out of that. So that is the point. But why we are here? Because of the 3 gunas I have said. That's one way of thinking. But these 3 gunas are called Maya. In one sense, Maya is deluding, as we have got a frightful picture. Life is all suffering, life is all. That's why Vedanta starts with what is called pessimism, optimism. Huh? And then it ends in all optimism, pessimism to optimism. Vedanta starts with not this, this is temporary, give up this, give up that, this is bad, that is bad, that is bad, that is bad. As if everything is bad. No, everything is not bad. Everything is God. But for my life, I don't see the Lord, that's why everything is meaningless. Everything is ultimately brings us zero. So this is the point then, this Maya, falling into this Maya, Sri Ramakrishna says, we have Vidya Maya, Avidya Maya. Two, Maya has two divisions. One releases from bondage, another it takes me into the bondage. So therefore we have to understand what we want, understanding our condition, how we live in this life, at the same time can get this freedom from all bondage. We need to know where we are first. And most of us are overwhelmed with the charms of the fleeting sensory objects. And desire increases as we experience a little joy that comes out of this sense gratification. No? Instant thing, we want to get more and more and more. But this is a wrong process. We think that by satisfying our desires, we will be able to fulfill our desire. No, it does not happen such. It rather brings more frustration. That's great stories there. The king Jajati. Jajati was a king. So he forgot everything and he indulged into the sense gratification in the kingly way in the palace and not looking at the proper ruling of the country and other. So he was so engrossed into his own enjoyment. But suddenly he became more old and looked back. I tried to enjoy the life I have become old already. What to do? Then he requested some of the sages. So what can I do? I want to enjoy more. Then the sage give the formula. You can do that more, another life you can enjoy. But someone should transfer your old age. You have to exchange your old age with a youthful person. So it is said that his son offered, okay, I shall be old. If you want to, my father, you want to enjoy life, okay. So he exchanged and he became again young. Jajati became a young person again. And he lived another life of enjoyment. And after that he said, oh, I lived another life of all fun and joy. But where is my satisfaction? Then he said this beautiful word that this is his experience. Najatu kaman kamo upabhogena sammati. The desires cannot be satisfied by adding fuel to the desire. It is like what? Hovisha Krishna Bhartmaiva Bhuyo Yevo Ovivardate. As you put in the fire some ghee or clarified butter, what will happen? Flame will be lessened. If anyone expects, okay, I want to pull that down the flame, put little more ghee. More desire, more desire, more desire. Will it be any time that flame will subside? Rather, bhuyo evo obhivardhate. It will go on increasing, 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 and not getting the goal, not reaching the goal. So this is the experience. And we have to understand, we all understand the difference between this. It is that the sense experience and are all limited. It has this immediate, so much energy is to be given. Suppose one good meal, we want to have a feast. And you people who cook the meal, you know how much trouble you have to take to plan it, go to the shopping place, bring all these items, chop it, dress it, cut it, prepare it, and then when you eat, how long? 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then that also where? From tongue to this. And then it is just a memory. So this is the defect of the sensory experiences. It has its beginning. Too much of energy is to be given to acquire and procure things. And even if it is done everything perfectly, Your mood is another question. You are eating and you got in bad news that time. Your all meal is gone. You find distaste even you are taking the best preparation, best meal, but your mind is so disturbed that it become meaningless. So many conditions to get a little joy. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, the ek bindu anande tare, to have one drop of blissful life, ek sindhu, like ocean, like sweating. You have to exhaust your energy so much to get it. And when you get it, that's also momentary. And that momentary thing creates desire. I'll get more tomorrow. Tomorrow may be another good food. But comparing yesterday's nice feast, today's feast, you don't like it. Hey, what is this? You are not satisfied there also. So this is the play of this Maya goes on with the objective world and experiencing, trying to find joy through that. So this is a very analytical life. We all go through this, but we go blindly. Let us be awakened into this awareness that yes, this is good. We go through the experience of, and we will have something good, something bad income, but we have to understand these are not permanent. This cannot give me permanent happiness, permanent joy, permanent peace. Only it can inflame more desire, more restlessness, and dissatisfaction in us. Therefore comes the suffering comes in life. Because we don't analyze these things, so suffering takes possession of us. That's why it says that when you get this type of suffering, dukkha traya, 3 types of dukkha, suffering, we get it from life's experience. Either I create for myself, or someone creates for me, or some natural calamity. Whatever the source of this suffering comes in my life, then we get question, hey, why me? Why it is coming to me? That question actually is a waking call. And that waking call leads us to some direction, to search for truth. We go to teacher, we go to scripture, we go to holy places to get this answer, how to solve this problem. How we can be going through the life, but not feeling this type of restless situation of suffering and pain. So that's why it is analyze this very important point, Vishaya Sukh and happiness that comes out of bhajan. It's called Vishaya Ananda, the Ananda that comes from the sense objects and the sense experiences. Then comes Bhajana Ananda and Brahmananda. The Ramakrishna divided this in 3. Vishaya Ananda, the experience which comes from the 5 sense organs, when it comes in contact with the sense objects, corresponding sense objects. That's called Vishaya. And that has its defect, we have analyzed. To get it, so much labor and energy is necessary. When you get it, it is so temporary. And then when it goes away, you feel frustrated. That joy is gone. You want to more, and again you work more to get little and then get frustrated. So this is dependent happiness, dependent joy. But it is the same joy of the divine. But can we get it different ways? So Ramakrishna said, Bhajanananda, sing and dance in the name of God. Pray to God. There also you'll find joy. The difference is becoming a very, very conspicuous difference. One, I get a joy, and then second time I will be eager for that joy. That joy is temporary and brings frustration in the next day. But when it's Bhajanananda, you do a beautiful bhajan singing, dancing, or good meditation, what happens? Today you got for a few minutes. Remember that after 10 days, it will give you inspiration. That was a good day. Even a dream, you have a good dream, night time. Then that can carry you to higher joy again and again. But any good experience of the sensitive world, you get it, next day you think, today is a bad day. Today food is not good. Today this person didn't behave with me sweetly. And tomorrow the flower is good. Today there is no flower. So everything brings frustration. And whereas this gives inspiration. You remember 10 years afterwards, you have one experience. Suppose you went to one place and you suddenly have some experience. Remember now, it will boost your mind higher up. So this is the bhajana ananda. And doing this, when you reach its climax, is called the brahmananda, absolute joy in samadhi. That's the end of the journey. So that is the struggle. We have to raise our consciousness from Vishayananda to Bhajanananda. And Bhajanananda will lead to Brahmananda, joy eternal. And there is no end of that joy. So that's why struggle is that to search for the higher joy. It's not that we should be fooled. The world is all suffering, so let us go to forest and be a homeless guy in the world, no? To add the number of the homeless people. That is spirituality. No, living in the world with this wisdom, eye of wisdom, and thinking that samsara is a place of bondage, but samsara is a place of mart of joy. In this ignorant state, it is said, in the ignorant state, the world is full of suffering. And the same world becomes full of joy, mart of joy, when you see the touch of the eternal and come back from that experience, you see the whole world is permeated with God and God consciousness. It's joy and joy only. It is only Jivan Mukti. And that is the state. It brings us to that state when you see that sukha, that's happiness, that peace, that joy permeates everywhere. Through your eyes you see, through your ears you feel, through your touch you feel. Everything is that sense, that experience of the absolute. So this world which is void, meaningless, becomes meaningful, purposeful, and fulfillment. Oh, the subject of fulfillment. So Ramakrishna said that he used to like this song. Ei sangsar dokattati. This world is a play of what you call the magician's magic, no? There is no real joy, but it appearance. But when you realize God, ami khai daya moja luti. I sing and dance and see God everywhere. So it's a place of mart of joy for me. That's why to conclusion we are in the samsara, the impermanent world, but we need not weep and cry only. We need to make a way to freedom and bliss eternal. Vedanta starts with this idea that this world is avidya, ignorance, don't negate, entangle, it is bad, and bad. But it ends into this conclusive state of fulfillment and achievement. That's why we prayed in our prayer, Asato ma sadgamayo. Oh Lord, lead me from the asat, unreal, this unsubstantial, unreal, changing, this joy, the world we are seeking like a fool, and try to extract the joy of this world, and we find that our life goes away and we don't find any satisfaction. We remain a bundle of dissatisfied person, a psychic patient ultimately. But we are not to be here in psychic patient, but we are to cross the mind to get into our own home. Asatoma sadgamayo. So, oh Lord, lead me, help me to go beyond these impermanent objects to the permanent, asat, unreal to real. No? Tamaso, darkness. I'm in the darkness. Anna. I'm like a blindfold person. I have eyes, but blind. I don't see the truth. So take me to the point of light. And Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. And mrityu. I am dying every moment. I am thinking. There is no way. There is no hope for me. I am a failure in life. I am frustrated. I did achieve so much. I am a doctorate. I am a lawyer. I have achieved my highest expectation materially. But at the point of death, what I am carrying with me, this frustration. Take me from this type of frustration to Jyoti, the light and the enlightenment. But how to move, I will just give one idea. But how to move, it is one step at a time. We get to hear many inspirational ideas, that's good. Always we have to, as I talked also, the idea is that to attain to that our eternal home, which is beyond death and sorrows and suffering. It is birthless, deathless reality. It is Satchidananda, all these ideas. But you are where you are. You have to make a journey. And that journey, you cannot jump saying, I am that, and you reach that. It is only intellectual talk. It is just talking. It's lip service. But that's why we pray every day. Name bhati kinchit. Oh Ramakrishna, you are this, you are that. But this I speak in the mouth only. It's a mouth just expressing those words, but it does not reflect in my life. So therefore, kindly help me. So here also, that in movement, we should have one step at a time. That means we should have to be focused on our sadhana, spiritual practice. Firmness in sadhana. And that sadhana, don't expect tomorrow you will have it. I have a awakening of Kundalini. It may not be, but it matters. But be consistent. Move on and on and on. In spiritual life, endless joy. Don't stop anywhere. Don't you see that one gray of light you have seen one night? Wow, I have seen a dream. Wow. Nothing. Go on, go on, go on. Sometimes life's struggle will be such that you don't find any joy. You are doing meditation for years together. Close your eyes, nothing happening. Yeah. Oh my God, what is this? Are they true? Then you get frustrated. That's a good thing. Divine frustration. That has its place. But it is not to take you to negativity. Therefore, we should be careful to remember these words one step at a time. And we have to do sadhu sangha, all holy company, reading this, reminding ourselves, but be firm and steady, one step at a time. I did meditation for 20 years, nothing happened. Nothing happened to what is there? Will you give up this path? Because it didn't happen? It didn't happen because you are not walking properly. You are in the car and you are parked your car in some exit. And you say, no, my car, I will be reached San Diego, I will reach San Diego, and you are sitting in Hollywood in a parking lot. And talking big things. I will be in the San Diego, there is a beautiful zoo, I will go this and that and that. What a sunny day, and this temperature is so comfortable. And you just do like that here and sitting in Hollywood. So I will conclude with one beautiful statement that Swami Swahananda, our President Maharaj who passed away, it is from him I just say that he is talking about his life. When he said that when I was young, I used to read different books, but some lines from a sonnet by Cardinal Newman came to my mind. And he is quoting the Cardinal Newman. He says, I do not ask to see the distant scene, one step enough for me. He read that and it struck his mind. What? I do not ask to see the distant scene. I will see San Diego now, sitting there. No. San Diego is good. Have a map of it. That will attract. Atman is great. I am infinite. That's a great idea. Keep that idea. But forget now idea about I am infinite. Start where you are. So one step enough for me. And Swamiji continues, I do not understand the meaning when I was a boy. I read these lines when I was a young boy, but they were in my memory. And the Swami says, many years later, when I had joined the Ramakrishna Order, I happened to be climbing mountain in India. He was climbing in Himalayas or some other place. And suddenly a big fog came and covered up everything. In our life it happens, no? You are traveling, big disaster come and big shocking things come and you don't see anything, no light, nothing. What great ideal. Sometimes in our life it is called divine discontent. You'll find that nothing is happening after 20 years. Even Swami Girish Ghosh said, no? Girish Ghosh was an embodiment of faith. Ramakrishna said, no? But he one time felt, nothing, I don't see anything, I don't feel anything. Life becomes meaningless. Of course, that ended with Swami Brahmananda patting in his back. He said, what? You are the same. And he suddenly got back. But anyhow, but that time will come. So he says, a fog of that blinding fog comes around in our life. He says, mountain of India, and suddenly a big fog came and covered up everything. If you fall, you may fall 1,000 feet below on one side. In our life's journey, as if you make a run here and there, false step can just kill you. Everything. If you fall, you may fall 1,000 feet below. But I could see one step ahead of me and one step behind. Only it is visible that I can do under these circumstances one step at a time. I can just pray this much. I can do this one little step. Beyond that is dark for me. But he says that I suddenly remembered this line, one step enough for me. I can carry on. I can go on. I need not see the distant scene. One step enough for me. In spiritual life too, we need not see the distant scene, nor is possible for us to see, but we have to keep ourselves on the path. One step enough for me. Thank you all.
Anybody have any questions? Straight to the mic.
Thank you, Swamiji. I have two questions. One is, if a person is having severe Alzheimer's, then what does any karma still accumulate for that person? Or, and the second question is that if a person,
Achha, let me see this first question first. Yeah. Alzheimer, if it happens in the, I do not know. Alzheimer means you forget all these things. Yeah. So, yeah, whatever happens, a child, does he accrue karma? Normally it says no, because they have no sense what they are doing. Ego sense is not there. When we added with ego sense, that karma comes to the ego. I did it, so it comes to me. But a child, if he has no ego, so karma does not add to that. That's the concept of the scripture. So I think that probably Alzheimer people has no identity of the ego, what is done by samskaras, by the past. So probably it is not.
the second question is, if a person is in a situation where he doesn't know what's going to happen to him after death and what's going to happen about disposing of the person's body, is that a concern spiritually?
Why should we see one step at a time? Think of your one step only. What will happen after death? Why to think about that?
But is it a concern if anything
It should
is
not be concerned.
not done about the body?
We should need not have to think much so much. I die, the body, whatever they do, what is that? They burn it or cut to pieces, what is my business?
Thank you, Swami.
Really, some people say, yesterday I met a very person, a person who was actually in a hospice service, and she's going to, maybe some days are limited. And he was smiling, he said, I gave away all my limbs are all strong, doctors are saying. But my muscles are, what is called MS disease or something, muscular degeneration disease. So he's just, his mouth is, he can speak, but he cannot raise hand in this and that and that. And then hospice service started. But he was a very spirited person. He said that I have offered all my limbs for the after death, what to the doctors, they can use it. I said, wow, wonderful, you did it. What will happen? Well, what will happen? No, he thought about it. After death, what it matters? Are you burn it? That's also a good thing. To burn everything to ashes. or doctor will cut it, and you need to help someone. That's your choice. It does not matter. After death, what will happen? What's the matter? After death, think of your mind, because you are not the body anymore. The body is a collection of 5 elements from the world, and it goes back. You have to pay off. What you have collected, you have to return with taxes. Really, we have no control. No, if I die, what will happen? It's the air, no, is feeling in my body. It will come merge into the cosmic air. The body heat, what is there in my body till now, temperature, it will merge into the cosmic heat. Then earth, it will be burned, it will be ashes. Bones and things are all grown out of rice, dal, etc. What we have eaten whole life. So it goes back to its own cause. The space I am occupying, taken a loan from God. This space, I am holding this much space, and that will go vanish. It will merge into the cosmic space. So we have borrowed from this cosmic place, space, air, water, fire, etc. And I am thinking me, my. You have forgotten, you have taken loan from the cosmic storehouse. And now when it dies, it goes back to them. So very simple. So why am I to bother about? And that should be that. Okay.
Anybody else have a question? Anything online? So just because I like to, I always believe in sort of embodying what was said here. I like to get audience participation also. So Swamiji mentioned mentioned a story about the 3 robbers. Can you guys tell me who are the robbers again? Who are the 3 different robbers?
Goodness.
What were they?
The Thomas Roger.
Okay,
Robert.
Thomas, Rogers, and Sattva. Right, all right. So in our own lives, I'd like to hear from you guys. Do we have these companions in our own lives? Do we have tamasic companions? Do we have rajasic companions? And do we have sattvic companions? Are these the robbers in our lives? If so, let's just take a quick inventory in our lives. Can you kind of like, I'd like to hear from you guys. Who do you think is a tamas robber or tamasic companion in our lives? What type of companion is that? The ones that exist in our lives right now.
Donald Trump.
That's fine.
Out of my head.
What about the people that we know directly? Do we have any type of, what do you think a person is that, who's a tamasic robber in our lives? Yes?
Myself, when I get angry,
Yourself when you
or
get
I get
angry.
upset and lose my peace
Okay.
over no reason at all, because the other person may not even be realizing that the person has hurt me, and he's dealing with his own self.
Sure.
So to be angry is the most stupid thing, but to be able to not do it is tamas.
Okay, so she's basically saying here, as I understand, someone who provokes anger within me. If you think deeply, we all have tamasic robbers in our lives. Maybe I should ask you further. What do you think, being in their companionship, what do they bring out within us? What is a tamasic robber? What does a tamasic companion bring out within us? What's that? So what's a quality that it brings out within us?
Well, all the bad qualities, anger, laziness,
All right.
stupidity.
So let's just think it. So maybe something like feeling of numbness, being with them. Well, I'll give you an example. Anybody have a drinking buddy? Would a drinking buddy be a tamasic companion? All right. Okay. Let me take it one step further. Does anybody have a friend who they gossip with? All right. There you go. Would that be a tamasic companion? All right. So we all have these within our lives. We just have to be able to maybe explore what they bring up. Let's go next one. Who's a rajasic companion in our lives? Think about your lives. Who is someone that is a Rajasic companion? What do they bring up within us? Let's start with that.
Myself, when I want to get entangled by other people's conversation, like I went abroad, I went here, I went there, and then my mind wants to start doing that, so that becomes Rajasic inside me.
All right.
Exercise buddy,
Exercise buddy is so interesting. Okay.
when you go to the gym with.
Right. So, do you notice what is the common theme that they're talking about between both of them? What they said. What do they bring up within us? A sense of competition. Do you have anybody in your friendship circle? Could be. Where do you find the sense of competition exists most in our lives? Come on. Think about it. Where does competition exist in our lives?
I'm trying to think where it does.
At work. All right. Yes. So do you have friends?
It can also be in volunteer groups.
It can be a volunteer group. Yes, absolutely. So those are our Rajasic companions. Friends that bring up sense of competition. You feel like bring up sense of excitement. What do you think then is a Sattvic companion?
I think it's, you're not necessarily all competitive. I mean, it's when we want to be what we can be, live up to our own potential. We're not necessarily competing with anybody else.
It can be nurturing.
So
Yeah, it's
within your,
exciting.
so then there could be that's great. So what you're saying, there could be maybe Rajasic people that lead you to a more Sattvic way of being. All right?
No, I'm still on Rajas.
No, what I'm saying is that this is Rajas, but there's Rajas that can take us down to Tamas, or there's Rajas that can take us up to Sattva.
Or it can just stay there. And
Or
be
it can just stay
exciting.
there. Right, yes, exactly. So, great, so I'm glad you're exploring these ways. So let's come to this final subject. Who do you think is a Sattvic companion?
Anybody that qualifies as holy company.
Okay, so they're going to one extreme, what we call Sangha, what we call Sadhu Sangha, holy company. Let me ask you another question here. What about a teacher? Is a teacher a Sattvic companion?
Can be.
Can be? In what way?
Inspire you.
The person can inspire you
Inspire you to your best expression.
to your best
And
potential.
teach you, make you aware of wonderful things in life that you're unaware of, that inspire you and share with you
That can give you insights,
insights.
revelations. You were going to say something?
Yes. Acknowledging your presence, seeing you for who you are as a teacher.
Someone that sees you, that allows you to express yourself, allows you to be. You feel as a Sattvic person.
Accepts you.
Accepts you. Nardas?
Well, I was thinking that all those examples, the drinking buddy, the exercise buddy, or the teacher can be either sattvic or tamasic or rajas.
Yes,
All right.
that's true.
So remember then, we're going then, what is the ultimate, what's the feeling that we get in the presence of that companion? Do we feel enlightened? Do we feel, do we get insights, revelations? Do we feel competitive? Do we feel numb? What's the feeling that we get? And maybe a person can bring up multiple feelings in us, right? So I just want you to get an idea, like, we're living our lives, we're going out in life there. Who is our tamasic, rajasic, or sattvic companions? And knowing that, what can we do? Now let me ask you another further question. All these people being present there, is there any way that we can turn each of these companions into a more, we call it divine experience? A divine being.
Yes,
What can we do?
just turn it upward,
Turn it upward. What do you mean by that?
take it to a higher place, whatever it is.
So let me just offer one thing. Whoever we're with, whatever Robert we're with, if you take the aspect of service, if instead of just being the companion, if you be the server, wanting to serve that person, then no matter whether they're tamasic, rajasic, or sattvic, they can become the divine to you. the divine masquerade in tamas, the divine masquerade in rajas, the divine masquerade in sattva. You can turn each of these robbers into the divine through the attitude of service.
I don't agree with that, Swamiji. How can you serve someone who may be half naked on the road and still think that they are going to get you into sattva? I didn't understand what you were saying.
So you think about it a little bit deeply. When you're serving, okay, it's just a matter of what's your attitude in service. In your attitude in service, I was talking to Swamiji yesterday. What are they manifesting within you?
If you're
What-
if you're a little sapling and if you're trying to compete with something like thinking that you're a tree, it may be okay for you to be able to do that, but I don't think it's very wise for a person like me to do that, because there are some people who get very negative vibes out of, even on a television you can't see programs and then think that it's getting you to sattva.
But anyways, the idea is that in the aspect of service, there is a lesson that's being taught, there's a gift that's being given through that service, trying to manifest something within you, a potential that exists within you. What is that potential that has to be manifested in that aspect of service? Whether it's forbearance, whether it's discernment, whether it's the ability that maybe I should step away from this person, that's also a gift that's being taught to us. So anyways, I don't want to get into a long conversation, but the idea is that what Swamiji was talking about was how do we embody the robbers? They live in our lives, try to understand who they are, and then how we can benefit from them. All right?
But
Anybody?
there are non-human robbers, lots and lots of non-human robbers as well.
Yes.
The media can be a sattvic robber. I mean, in America, it's mostly Rajasic and Tamasic, but you know, if you find a wonderful documentary on Swami Abhishektanandaji or somebody like that, that's a sattvic media robber. But if you turn on the TV, if you get, you know, some reality show,
Right.
that's mostly Tamas with a seasoning of Rajas.
Right.
Like
So you can extend
that.
these robbers from people to activities.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you have a question? Go ahead.
I'm just curious about where you would, thinking about sadhu company.
Sorry, just talking about-
Thinking about sadhu company or holy one, but in their, kind of Kali manifestation, when they're, kind of pounding away at the ego. How does that fit into three gunas and your, that wouldn't necessarily evoke a sattvic feeling with, if you're getting, if they're pointing out your deceit, but they're doing a service, a loving service.
So it sounds like what you're saying is that, so someone who's taking on this, repeat again, is it someone who's beating, I'm not trying to understand the
Holy
question.
one, somebody who's liberated, Jivamukta.
Yeah.
So, but they see where you're hiding, they see your self-deceit, so they're not lovely to your ego, they're pounding away at the ego.
Oh, you're saying like a guru
Like a guru.
and they're trying to point out,
So this is, so you're talking about holy ones.
Right.
Sattvic,
right,
but that behavior, some may not, that wouldn't necessarily evoke, so what that could evoke is, shame, humiliation,
Yeah. So he's talking about like a spiritual person or a holy person who has your best interest, and then they may try to elicit, like bring out some of your anger, your fears, the things that you have hidden within you. They're exposing them, bringing them out. So the action they're creating is not sattvic action. The guru may get angry at you, or the guru may shout at you. So
I think that type of guru is very rare.
Maybe it may lost.
just speak. Yeah.
Yes, so that type of guru is very rare. Those who actually to arouse the anger of someone and to destroy their that anger element is very rare. So normally it should be always inspirational. They know how to handle the situation of a student and guides normally. Exceptional cases, as you say, in our Ramakrishna Order, we find that they used to scold the young brahmacharis and sadhus right and left for little mistake or no mistake. No, they are especially people, they are really realized. So most of the gurus are, I do not say that all are, I'm not illuminated. So question is that, so most of the people are just guides, and that's why the definition of a guru is also very much important. Guru should be selfless. He should be only for the good of the disciple. All these qualities, if it is there, then arousing the anger and to take out their evil things, that is fitted for that person. But most of the time we have to understand who is the guru. Brahmagyani guru. For us, every guru is Brahmagyani. But a knower of truth. Normally, guru means who has realized the truth. No. So if the realized person does that, I will say it's okay. But if not, then it may be the weakness of the guru itself. Sometimes.
Just want to say one thing that
I think the mic is out, I think the battery is dead.
it's on.
The batteries.
Okay. One thing I'd like to add is that from my experience, sometimes when you serve like a holy person, it's not a fun experience. I used to serve Swami Swahananda. And when Swami Swahananda would come here, everybody's like, "Oh, Shernaz, oh, Swami, you're so great. We wish we could live in your company for eternity." People who have to serve the person, it's not easy to live in their company. And they see you, they see your inner flaws, and they work on your inner flaws. How do they work on your inner flaws? They're like surgeons. They've got different tools. They may yell at you. They're going to expose all the hidden things that I don't want to see within myself. They bring it out. Their gift is that these anger, this whatever they're doing, that's their tools. They're doing it for a purpose. I may not realize the purpose. I'm getting angry, but in the anger, in my ego, when it comes, all of a sudden that which is embedded in me comes out. I start to see it for the first time. They loosen the ego up, the gravel. They bring out all the kama, krodha, the lust, the anger, all these things that are hidden away. And now once I begin to see it, then I can do something about it. Until then, it remains hidden. I see through it, I don't see it. So the gift of the person is they're trying to awaken you through that process of whatever process that is. So that is the gift they're bringing to you. It's called, like, I think of it sometimes as when I'm serving God and trying to serve God in the human being, something like as a chaplain or what, I end up, you think like meditation, like you're going through prayer, you think like any other spiritual exercise, you should live in peace. You should live in like, or you should live in like, such a great, I got some insights. A lot of times when I'm serving the divine, trying to serve the divine in human beings, it is rough. People yell at you. People come, they say all sorts of things at you. You come up, what happens after you finish the puja? We get prasad. You know what the prasad is? When I leave, sometimes I leave with this sense of like anger, this sense of sadness, the sense of like, I couldn't fulfill all this is coming up. This is the gift of the divine, revealing to me, this is what you need to work on. You have to learn how to digest this. Otherwise, again, it's embedded in you. This is karma. This is working out karma. This is the process of working out karma. So when you're serving God in human beings, it's not like any other. It's not like you end in joy and peace. You may end up with all this stuff coming out. That is the prasad, God's gift to us. For what purpose? To be able to release that, surrender that to the divine so that we can be free from it. Om Namah Shivaya. I release this into the fire of Brahman. Burn it away. Let me be free. That is why the Guru is doing this.